Okay, everybody, welcome back to Flat Tires and Balin Wires. So it's your host, Balin Wire here, and we're going to start this video. Um, I need to let you all know that at the end of this video, we're going to give away this creeper. We're going to pick out of the last video we had, we're going to pick somebody out of the comments, and that's the person that's going to get this creeper. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on the rat rod a little bit, and I may get a little bit on Jimmy. I don't know if I'm going to get that far, but I want to finish the steering rod for this. I think I want to get the dash started, or actually I hope maybe in this video we get that part done. And then after that, I'm not real sure what we'll do. We may work on Jimmy a little bit. But that's what we're up to. So everybody stay tuned and we'll see who gets to win this brand new creeper. All right, what I'm going to start with is I've got this other mounting bracket. And I'm going to put it on this outside of the firewall. I was going to put it on the inside, but I have no room in there for it. The pedal assembly's right there in the way, and I'm actually going to put it on this side of the firewall, and I'm going to put it upside down. So let me get it tacked on here. Okay, now that we've got that bracket in there, now I'm concentrating on getting this D-rod. I took one of them old steering shafts apart, and this is the D-rod out of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have about 2 to 3 inch engagement here into the end of that column. And then I'll come out maybe inch, maybe 2, and then I'll put a U-joint and bring it this way. So let me measure this up, and I'll get that stuck in there. I'll show you what's going on. Okay, I've got 3 inch engagement into the steering column with that D-rod, and I'm going to come down, I think, to about right in here. Then I'm going to put one of these U-joints in there and have it come this way. And then we'll hook another D-rod into here and have it go down to, well, what we'll probably have to do is we'll have to come this way like this, go with a short piece, and then we will have to do another swivel to straighten it up, like right in here. So I think probably right about where my finger is, I think is about where we'll go. Hang on, let me put you guys, see if I can get you on a stand here. Okay, let me get my marking utensil. I think that where we're going to want to go is probably right in there. Let's mark it right here. That kind of keeps us away from the dipstick too. So we go there, come this way. We'll do a short piece here, then down to there. So let's go cut this off. Right there. Okay. Let me go cut that. I'll be right back. Okay. So right here is our piece of rod that we're going to put in there. And I've got the piece of rod inside that joint. Oh, get down here. I've got it just about flush with this right here. Let me get you out away from here a little bit. And then at first I had it sticking through just a little bit, and I thought maybe that's where I wanted it, but that's not going to be right because I wasn't getting very good movement here. Now I've got full movement. So I've got that pretty much flush, and I've got that on there tight. So once I get done mocking all this up, I'll take this stud off right here, put a mark right here where this rod is, and I'll drill into that rod a little ways and that'll give it a little bit for this stud to insert into, and then you'll tighten that down. But let's get this on there. I've got my 3-inch mark back on there. I had to clean this up a little bit because it wasn't wanting to engage in all this very well. So let me get that on our 3-inch mark, and then we'll see about going from here out. All right, now. All right, that fits in there good now since I cleaned it up. So now, we're going to come this way. Oh, all right. Now it's going to have to be a short piece. I took the factory steering rod off of there. I may need to put it back on, but even if I do, I need to cut that end of it off. Here, let me show you. So this would have been, let me back you up a little bit. Okay, so that would have been for the 70s pickup. That would have been the factory rod that would have gone up to the steering column. That end right there would have hooked the steering column. This end hooks the gearbox. I think I'm going to try to use this. But I think if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to cut this off right here. This I can take apart. I actually took apart the one that I got this D-rod off of for this one, that D-rod there. I actually took one of these apart. That's how I got that. But give me just a second. Let's see if we can at least get that engaged back on there like it was. Hang on. Let me get you guys right down here. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. Whoa, whoa, hang on for the ride. Hang on. Let me shut you off. All right, now I think I got you guys stable. Let's get this back on here. Okay. Oh, you guys fell off. Boy, my camera skills today suck. Let me get a different camera. All right, now I've got you guys on a clamp, so hopefully you won't fall off. All right, let's get this back on here, just temporarily. You know what, I don't know if I even need to put these nuts on there for what I'm doing. All I really want to do is get an idea, because I think I want to cut this off. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I think I want to cut this off right here on this one. And I may even go a little shorter, because I'll go a little short piece here. Then I'll have another U-joint. I'll have a U-joint on the end of this to go to my short piece. Okay, hang on just a minute. Okay, I think I'm going to cut it right off here. And then I'll bring me a short one from here to there. And I may even cut it off a little. But I think I'll cut it off right here for now. And I think I'll use that part of the rod. All right. Let me go cut that off and I'll come back. All right, so you got this cut down. Let's get this on here, see what we think. Oh yeah. I'll let you guys look at it. I'll get you down here close. Let me get this other knot on here. It's we're gonna shorten that up. That's too long. I've got the U-joint on it, and it's too long. Too long. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So right there is where I showed you guys where I was going to cut it. I cut it. I've got the U-joint on there. As you can see, we need a decent angle for that. Probably something kind of about like that. So it's looking like I may need to go maybe right in here. Because that's not going to work. We have to shorten that up a lot on that end. And that wouldn't even, I don't think that we could make it short enough. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to shorten this end up. Looking at it, because that's kind of the angle. There. That's kind of the angle we want. So we're going to want a piece that's going to come like this and go straight into this. So we're probably going to need to go about right in here. Yeah, right in there. All right, let me get it marked. Let me get it marked and cut, and then I'll come back. All right, let's try this angle. See if you guys like that angle. Let's see. Ain't too bad. See our rod right here? Okay. All right, now, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to loosen this up. What I do with the other bolt, or other nut. Now I'll find it. Oh, guess what? There it went. Yeah, we'll find it in a minute. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this in of that shaft in here first. And then we'll put it in there. Now do I have, let's see. That one's tight. That one's tight. That one's tight. Okay. So now, I need to loosen this one up. Alright, we want that right about there. So we got full motion. Very good. Right, now, let's try to put that on here, which that may be a booger. Let's see. We need this way. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, I don't know. All right, you guys are right in my way to tighten them nuts up. Let me tighten them nuts up and then we'll see what we think about this. Okay, give me just a second. All right, so I've got the nuts on there. I've got them tightened up. And I think this is going to work. Now, there is one issue. So once we move this over and put these two joints in there to get this kind of where we needed to go, it's a little sloppy. But we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that with this heim joint. As you can see, there's a hole in the frame right here. I will probably utilize that and make a bracket and either put this heim joint, I think I'll probably do it like that. Put that heim joint right here and tighten that, and we can move that in or out. I'll probably make a bracket off of this right here and maybe utilize this motor mount bolt right here, or maybe drill me another one over here. But I'll use this heim joint right here, and I can put pressure on this either out or in, and that'll definitely get rid of that slop up and down. It doesn't really have much in and out, just sliding in and out of the column up there. But once we put this on there, that'll take care of all this. It won't move up and down anymore, and I think that'll move just fine. So, but that's going to have to wait till in the morning. It's getting too late. I need to get in the house. But I'm going to use this heim joint right here to take that slop out of it. I think once I put this heim joint on there, I think it'll be fine. I think what I'll do is after I get the heim joint on there and a bracket made for the heim joint, I'll jack this up, put some air to it, and put that steering wheel on, and we'll give it a try. But I've seen way worse steering setups. I think that this will be fine. I think once we put that heim joint on there, it'll work. Yeah, so we'll see you guys in the morning. making this bracket, and I wasn't going to bore you guys with it, but I'm going to make some sparks. You might like the sparks. So here we go. Okay, there's the spark. Got one more step to make. Alright, I won't bore you all anymore, but I know some of you like the sparks. So let me clean this up and I'll take it over there and you guys can see what it looks like. Now we're making lots of noise. Alright, let's see if we can get this stuff bolted up. Okay, that's that. There you go. Oh, it's all tight. Okay, so when I was kind of figuring out how this was going to go, I just kind of guessed, and I'm just a little ways off. That hole needs to come back this way, just a little ways. And I don't think that we're going to be able to. Yeah, we're not going to be able to pull that in. So, I only need about a 1/4 inch. I need to go a 1/4 inch this way. But man, that's going to work good. Once I get the other piece on there. Look at that. We'll turn here, here. So, I need, back that way, about a 1/4 inch. All right, let me get back with you. I'm going to do something different with this bracket. All right, so I adjusted that bracket. I've got this in here. I've got everything except for that. Okay, I've got everything finger tight. So now we're happy with this. I think this is that stiffened that up really nice. Once we tighten that up. So now we got to go from there to there. And I think I got that all figured out last night. Let me get all the parts. All right, hang on. I don't know, could you guys see that very well? Yeah, I don't think you guys can see that very well. Hang on, let me show you. So there's our rod, our bracket. Now we've got to go to the from the end of the column to there. And like I said, I think I've got all that figured out. Let me go get all that stuff. All right, So here's what I've got. Now, I took some of that old rod and cut the outer sleeve out of it, and this actually gives me a sleeve for this to kind of slide in and out of. This piece and this piece. And then this is going to go up into the column. Let me see if I can do this off to the side. I'll be in the front so you guys can see what I got going on here. Okay, there's that. Now there's that. So hoping with that sleeve I was going to have enough room to be able to do that. Now let me take this, once I take this hind joint off in here, that should slide right in there. I may have to shorten that just a little bit. I need to shorten that by just about, oh, just a tiny little bit. Well, let me take that out and let me go shorten it up just a little bit. I need to shorten up this piece right here. Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, let's try this again. I shorten it up just a little bit. There we are. Okay, now. Oop, 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 oop. Oh, that's my sleeve. I think that I'm going to have to unbolt that bracket and bolt that bracket back up. Let me get that bracket unbolted. Okay, now let's try this again. Okay, so right there. It's right on that edge. Okay, so there's that. Now let me see if we can bolt this bracket back up. Nice. Okay. Boy, I don't know. I hope that's not too much of an angle. That's a pretty good angle. I may need to come this way with that a little bit, but we're going to try that. I'm going to get this thing aired up, put a jack under it, raise it up, and then I'll put that steering wheel on there. So what do you guys think? I've seen worse. I've seen way worse. But I think that should cut it. Let's get it jacked up. I'll have to look at the time. I've got to go up to the hall and get ready for bingo tonight. We're doing bingo at the hall tonight. So if I don't have time tonight, I will probably do this in the morning. But let's see what time it is. Okay, so I've got the wheel on there, got the bags on it, I got it jacked up. Let's see what we get. Oh, I think once that's tightened up, that's going to be fine. That bracket's moving around a little bit, but once that bracket's tightened up, I think that's going to be fine. tighten this bracket up, and I think that'll work out good. Actually, I'm kind of happy. I can screw this on here a little bit so I get fluid. First. But what do you guys think? I think that's going to work fine. I'll have to look back in the footage and see what that looked like when it was rotating. You guys can see better than I could. But I think that's going to work. Once I tighten up that bracket, and I may brace that bracket a little bit. See, I'm getting a little bit of movement in that bracket, but it's just finger tight. I don't need to tighten it up at all. Now, granted, ball joints or none of this has been tightened up either on this side. Oh, I think that's going to be just fine. Yeah, once we tighten up that bracket, and I do, I think I may brace it, may put a gusset on it. That makes me happy. One more step. And like I said in the beginning of the last video, one piece at a time. That's how we're getting this one done. All right. So, for today, I'll bring it down here where you can see me. That's it for today. I'll get more tomorrow. I'll probably tighten it up and put a bracket on it. But I'm going to start on the dash tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay. Well, we're back on the rat rod. I still got a little bit of steering stuff I want to do to this, but I'm going to start working on the dash because after looking at this dash, I may need to pull that steering column back a little bit, and that'll change my geometry here a little bit, this right here. And if it doesn't, I think I'm going to cut this off about right in here so I can bring this up a little bit and bring this U-joint back at not quite a steep angle. It's working fine, but this is at a pretty good angle. And it's easy to fix. All we got to do is if we bring this away, that'll take this angle and bring it down this way. So no problem. So I made a template of this part of the cab right here, and here's the template. And so we're getting ready to integrate our other dash in there. All right, let's go over here, and I'll show you our new dash we're going to be putting in there. Well, new to this truck. Okay, so here we are. This is our 55 Chevy car dash. These were in, let's see, they were 150s, 210s, Bel Airs. There may be one that I'm missing. 150, 210, and Bel Air. That may be it. Put in the comments, you try five guys, if I'm missing one. I love 55 Chevys. I love the looks of them. I would love to have a gasser someday. And when I got the opportunity to integrate a 55 Chevy dash into this rat rod, I was like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I've got this started laying out here. So I'm going to have to cut so much off of each end. Here's my mark right here for this end. And then I'm going to have to cut so much out of the center because this dash is a lot wider than what that cab is wide. I've got to cut 7 inches out of the middle of this, plus, you know, about 2 or 3 off of each end. And the reason why that came out, I mean, I could have taken so much off of here and then so much off of here, but I needed to make sure that I kept my center here for my steering column. In order for me to keep my center here for the steering column and have my dash centered with the steering column, I need 10 inches from this center to out here, and that's right here where this mark is. So I just made the same on that side, and then I'm going to cut so much out of the middle. So I think I'm going to put you guys on a tripod, and I'll make some marks on this, and then I'll turn some tunes on and start cutting on this, and then I'll get back with you. I'll probably put you guys on time lapse, But I do want to take, so I probably need to go ahead and take this glove box out. I'll have to shorten it up. Here's the ashtray. I'll probably take it out. And I'll probably go ahead and take this gauge bezel out and the switch. And then this right here is the lever for the vent. So I'll probably take that stuff out. Now my template is for this side. So I think once I get it cut down and get it tacked back together, then I will use my template to cut my contour in this dash. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Let me get you guys on a tripod and I'll put you on time lapse and I'll finish getting this marked out. And then I'll get the grinder out with the cutoff wheel and I'll start cutting on it. Okay, so we're going to play a little game. Actually, two little games. Number one, can old Balin remember how to use that thing that he's holding in his hand called the tape measure? And then secondly, what tune is old Balin singing to himself there? Okay, let's get you in about as close as we can. So, I got a couple clamps here. Let's see how this is going to work out. Ooh, right there. That does not look too bad at all. Yeah. There's something back there in the back. Oh. This one piece has a little... Okay. I may have to cut. See that little tab right there? I think I'm gonna have to cut that off because that's in my way of getting this clamp on there right. All right, hold on. Make sure to put our shield on. I got my glasses on. I'm not going to put my mask on just for this, but I gotta put this okay. Now let's see if we can line it up. It's going to be a little bit of finagling because the contour is a little different through there. But that don't look bad right there. Oh. Okay. Now let's see what we can do with it. Okay, let's get that back loaded. Whoop, there we go. I have to hold that. Trying to make all this line up. The contour is just a little bit different. Okay. Let me go get a hammer. All right, hold on. Go get a hammer. I may tack it right there first. I think we're going to have a little bit of gap up here, but that's not going to be a big deal. We can fix that. If we get this lined up here, I'll deal with that. I'll probably tack here and here, and then I'll get an idea if this thing's kind of the way we need it. But let me see if I can get a clamp right there. Pull this one go up in there. Let me get an 11. This is 11 SP. SP because it's got these pads on it. And I think the 11 is the opening. I think if you open it all the way, I think that's an 11-inch opening. I think that's where they get that. When I worked in a factory, I had, oh gosh, I don't remember how many of these. There's a bunch. But there was a part that I built, and it took every single one of them that I had to get that part put together. All right, I'm liking it. I may even take it up here. We'll bend this around a little bit. All right, let me get the welder. Okay, so I've got it where it needs to be here, and right there. I'm gonna go ahead and tack it through there, and then I'm gonna turn it around and see what we need to do about this over up here. We'll have to do a little bit, because it's got a little bit of gap. I think I'll be able to close it up. I'll put some clamps in it. I may even put a backing on it, on the back, a thin piece of metal on the back. But let me get you down here where you guys can see this. You see that all right? Okay. Somebody asked in the comments in my last video if the ultraviolet light was transferred through the camera, and it's not. No, it's filtered through the camera. It's safe to look at. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put a little tack right here. All right, I got this thing turned way down. It's really hard for me. Anybody that's been through my weld class knows that I like to weld really hot and in a hurry. And this kind of thing, that doesn't work out very good. Let's see what we think about that. Oh, look at this off. Good golly, I put the whoppy on that one. so let me see if I can move this clamp just a little ways. I need to put a little tack right there. Let me get you guys a good view from the front. Okay, so for that right there, the best thing that I can do is I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to use my gloved hand. I'm going to pull it. I'll do it one hand like that, and then I'll zap it. So I'll pull back like this. And that'll get us pretty much up to here. That'll line all this up. So then we've got to go from here down. Body panels. Zap, 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 zap. Alright, now. Let's get this turned around. Yeah, look at there, just like I thought, we got a little bit of a gap. That's not an issue. I think what I'll do is I'll cut a piece to kind of back it. I'll cut a piece to back it, and that'll even help. That'll give me something to put my weld to. Okay, all right. Let me find something to make a backing right here, and I'll get back with you. All right, so I was going to cut just a piece of flat sheet metal and put it in there, and then I thought, well, why don't I just use the section that I cut out? So I cut me a strip out of the section that I cut out of the center, and I'm going to trim it down a little bit. I'm going to lay that right down in there, and that's going to work. I mean, look at it, that's going to work great. So let me get it cleaned up, get this cleaned up a little more, and I'll bring you back when I'm getting ready to tack this in here. Okay, so got a plan. Put this ground back on there. Let me get you in here a little bit. Well, hang on. Let me get you a different view here. Hang on a minute. Okay. Hammer time. I wish I could bring y'all in. Oh, you know what? I might be able to put y'all on that side. Hang on. Okay, can you all see in there all right? All right, I'm going to hammer tack, hammer tack. Okay. There we go, tacky tacky. All right, now, I hate to do that to you all. Give me just a second. I need to widen this out just a touch. And put a tack over here. Okay, that's what we got going on. Alright, now I think I can turn it back this way and bring you guys back over here. Okay, get you guys down there where you can see what's going on. Alright, now I'm going to need to hold that down and tack it down through there. So when it comes down to it, we probably won't need this lip at all. So I've still got my template over there that I've got to get fixed up on here. And we're going to cut this to the same contour as what the dash is in the truck. So there we go. That's what we wanted. Okay. Let me shut you off for a minute. Okay. So I've got this tacked together, and here's my template. I laid my template up on here, and I measured, I think it was 6 inches from here to there, and that's the distance that I'm looking for the steering column, for this to go down inside the steering column. So I went from 6 inches here, and then I lined up my template. I made that mark for the 6 inches, and I already made the marks for my template, and it pretty much in the center follows this right here. Then you get right here, and then it goes that way. So if you can imagine, this kind of goes like that, and over here the same. So if you can see it, it kind of goes like this. But when I laid the template on there, from here to here, it followed right on that line right there. Now this was with the factory 55. This clipped down inside the dash, or actually on the car. And this was kind of your window channel right here, what this was. But that's where we're going to cut. We're going to cut right along there. And then we might go over to the truck and just do a little dry fit, just see if it kind of fits down in there the way we're thinking. My steering column, I think that I'm going to have to bring it out maybe just about an inch or so, bring it up just about an inch or so. I hope that doesn't make a steering wheel too big. I'm awfully afraid I'm going to have to go down to the mini 55 wheel. I really want to do a 55 wheel, and that's what I've got on there. It's a stock one, but I may have to do a smaller one because that wheel's awful big for that. All right, let me get this cut. Okay, I don't know how much that caught. The battery went down on the GoPro to quit. I got that put down in here, and I told you guys that there were some brackets on each side of this cab that I could use for mounting holes. And then I wanted to come in the back and I wanted to look at your guys' view. Man, so far this is looking pretty good. I think this is going to work out. Oh yeah, I'm liking this. Now, if you can imagine, once that's all welded up and cleaned up, because I plan on, I'm going to leave the outside of this rat rod pretty much the way it is, and then I'm going to paint the inside of it pretty nice. But man, that dash is going to work out. But let me get some bolts on each side, and I'll bring you guys back, and I'll kind of push on the front, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I've got it bolted in at the bottom. I've got one clamp here. That's pretty much where it's going to live. But I'm going to have to do a lot more trimming. I need to trim some on the old dash over here. Can you see? Yeah, you guys can see. So I need to trim some on the old part of the cab right here. And I need to move this brace that I welded here for the steering column. So I've got the pedal assembly. I've got a bracket right here welded that hold the pedal assembly. So I need to take that off of there and move that back that away. So I've got room for my gauge panel right here. So that's pretty much what it's going to look like. And so far, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to call it a night tonight. And I think in the morning, I'll get back out here and I'll get you guys out here. And we'll get this fixed up over here. And we'll get it kind of tacked in, and I'll probably weld this stuff up. There's going to be a lot of patchwork that has to be done. Well, like this here, I want to weld this up totally before I, get this in here, and we'll kind of go from there. I may end up bolting this at the top. That way I can bolt it all the way. But we'll see in the morning. I've got to call it a night tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay. Well, it's not the next morning. It is the next afternoon. We had to go to town and have breakfast or brunch with the grandkids. Grandkids' birthday. And then I spent some time moving some stuff around outside. Since it is nice, I got the door open. I think it's about 50 degrees. And you see we got old Hoffa boy right there. I got some parts down in my part stash. And yes, I have a seamstress tape around my neck. And no, I'm not making dresses. When I was in school, I didn't do very well in that part of home economics. I made a one-legged pair of shorts that you couldn't put one leg into, and an apron with the sewed up pocket. And so sewing was not my thing, but I am going to show you guys what I'm going to do with this seamstress tape real quick. It's a real simple thing, but I'm going to be bolting that dash in, and then I'm going to be making some other patches for it, and that'll probably be the end of this video after I get that part done. But I do have some stuff to talk about at the end of this video. Okay, so let me get over there to the rat rod. All right, I've already got these holes marked, and I've got my seamstress tape, which I use all the time when I'm doing this kind of stuff. And I like to keep one decent in the toolbox. So what I'm doing is I'm marking these holes. I've already got them marked, but I'm going to show you guys what I did here. After I did this, I was like, maybe, who knows, maybe somebody doesn't know about this. So if you're having to put measurements on a curve or around something with a contour, the seamstress tape is really decent for marking those. And even I wanted to make these a 1/2 inch in, and this is a 1/2 inch. Actually it's 3/4 wide tape, and so I just put a dot right there at every spot where I wanted my holes for my bolt holes to put this dash in. And yes, this is the same kind of tape that your grandma used to put around your waist and in your arms or whatever that. Well, that was my phone. It still works. So what I was saying was, this is the same kind of tape that your grandma used to put around your waist or measure your arms when she was making you that fancy Christmas sweater that she was making for you that itched like heck and looked nasty, really ugly, and she'd make you wear when she was around. But yeah, that's the same thing that seamstress people do or alterations people do to measure your neck, your arms, all that stuff. But this is really nice to have in your toolbox if you're doing this kind of fab work. All right, so let's get with it. I'm going to drill. I don't think that you guys want to see me drill these 3 holes, so I won't be filming that. I'll get this attached down, and then I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to make a pattern over here to fill in these gaps on the sides here. Okay, so I've roughly cut this out into a shape that this will fit in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pattern, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to block this off right here and then make me another pattern to fill this in right here. So this will be just a flat space like this. This is how that's going to work. So let me get this marked out, then we'll go over and cut it. Okay, that's pretty much our shape. So I'm going to cut this out with a pair of scissors, then we'll take it over there and we'll transfer it to a piece of metal. All right, so there's a pattern. When you lay it out on here, kind of lay it out to where if you've got any straight lines, take advantage of your straight lines. We can't take advantage of this one because we got that tab there. If we took advantage of that, that would put that like that. See, that's not going to work out. But we got this straight line right here, so we can take advantage of that. All right. If I can hold it. Yep. All right. There's a pattern. All right, I'm going to take this over there and see if this will work on the other side. If we flip it, we should be able, if we go this way, it should work on the other side. I'm going to see, but it may not because I think that side's fitting a little different. Okay, so that side was pretty close. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm just going to, when I cut it with the nibbler, I'm going to cut on the outside of the line with this one because it was awful close. It should work. Okay, let me get the nibbler. All right, so here's my nibbler. I hope this thing works. I've never used it. And yeah, it's old and used. I think I don't remember if I bought it at auction or got it with some stuff at auction. But I've got a big heavy nibbler, but it doesn't work very good for these curves. I hope this thing works out all right. Let's see how it does. I don't know what brand this is. Oh, yeah, dude. It's a Black & Decker. And you know what? It's old enough, from the looks of it, that it was when Black & Decker made good stuff. Okay, here we go. Maybe. That's kind of having a hard time. It's awful thick for this, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do something different. May even just have to go to the plasma cutter, because it's doing it, and it's doing it pretty rough. And says, oh, this may be 18 gauge. Says 16 gauge. Let me get my gauge out for this, and I'll see what this is, because I think this is 18 gauge. It says a 16 gauge nibbler. This is either 16 or 18, but if it's 18, maybe that's why we're having such a hard time. All right, hang on. Okay, so I found my gauge for this. This is a gauge for sheet metal. I don't know if you all can see it. I'm going to try to get it up here close. So that nibbler says it's for 16 gauge, and that's actually 18 gauge material. And in the measurements of sheet metal, so the higher the number, the thinner the material, until you get down into fractions. When you get down to fractions, it's just a fraction of, you know, whatever the material is. But, so it's actually, this is 18 gauge. So that should be cutting it a little better than it is. Some of it may be me. I may be trying to go too fast. So I'm going to try to slow down and see if this cuts a little better. So let's try again. But how you use this is, you put your sheet metal right in these little notches. So we put it right in here against that, and whichever one fits it tightest, right there it is, 18 gauge. And in a decimal, that is 0.0478. So here we go. Let's try this again. You know, my big nibbler, I think, you know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that big nibbler out, and I'll cut some around here, and I'll show you guys what I'm used to. Hang on. All right, so here's what I call an actual nibbler. So this is a Milwaukee tool. I've had this for, gosh, long time, quite some time. I used to use it when I was out and did service out in the field, and it'll cut through this like nothing. See that? But the thing about this is, it's really hard to control on these curves, but I'm going to try it. All right, here we go. See what I mean? You got back in there to curve. It's wanting to pinch on me. I turned it a little bit and it's wanting to pinch on me. See, I stopped here, kind of turned that away, and it kind of pinched up on me. So let me go get the saw. That's not going to work for that. You don't have enough movement at all. That's not going to work for that at all. All right, let's go back to the other nibbler and I'll just take my time. Or I may get the plasma cutter out and just with a plasma cutter. I forgot to turn you guys back on. I'm getting the hang of this a little bit. I've never used, well, I've used these before, but on some really, really thin stuff. I never used this one, but I kind of get the hang of it. It's, I think that this is probably the max for this material. Because I've used these on a lot thinner material before and they can just kind of zip right through it. Because I'm actually having to pretty much force it the way I need to go. I mean, really force it pretty hard. All right, there it is. I've got to clean it up quite a bit, but I think that this material, which is 18 gauge, and I know it says 16 gauge on this nibbler, but that's pretty much all it wants. I may cut this next one with the plasma cutter. I think I'll just turn the plasma cutter down and have at it with that. But that wasn't bad. Once I got used to it, the machine wanted, and what it wanted was for you to force feed it. I mean, pretty hard. You had to push it pretty good. Okay, so I thought, what the heck? While we're at it, why don't we try a different tool? So this is electric shears. Now I will tell you, this is brand new in the box, and I've had it. Oh goodness. I bet I've had this almost 15 years, maybe longer. I was always afraid. I thought, nah. I mean, where I came from, we used plasma cutters that were the size of refrigerators, and that's what we cut stuff with. Or torches, you know. I mean, if I could use the small Victor torch, I could cut that right out with a torch. I mean, that's kind of the background I came from. But I thought, what the heck? These are Eastwood electric shears, and I don't know if you guys can see, but see all the dirt? That's been in a toolbox, I'm guessing at least 15 years. So let's see what it does. We're gonna try it. Let's try it right here first. Ooh, I don't know. We may have winter chicken dinner. Let's see here. Ooh, baby, this may be it. I gotta go this way a little bit because I got too close to the other cut. Okay, here we go. Now it said on the package that jaw is supposed to swivel. I don't know if you have to unlock it to make it do that. I don't know. Let me get back with you. That's supposed to swivel and make it easier to turn. But as far as just straight cuts, I think this is a winner. Well, unless you count my my big nibbler. See? All right, let me see if I can get that jaw to pivot, because it says that you're supposed to be able to do that for cutting curves. Let me see. I'm going to have to read the directions. Who does that? Well, just in case anybody wants to know how to adjust the head on those. So all you can do is adjust the head. It doesn't swivel. So what you do is you take these cap screws right here, loosen them, and this will turn. But you definitely need to tighten it. Excuse me. When you're done, because if not, watch, boop, and just pop right off. So that ain't no good. So really, that's not going to do us any good for what we're doing. I guess if you kind of need to change directions that you're approaching it, that may be good, but in our situation, that's not going to work out. But I will tell you, I've tried these again some, and I don't really think for anything that's really got a good curve to it, that's not really what these are not really what you want. And I'm kind of wasting my time, but why not? Let's get the plasma cutter out, and we'll see what exactly is the best tool for doing this that old Balin's got. We could use the cutoff wheel with the grinder, but you know, we've really got some kind of ornate curves and bends and all that, and that's going to be kind of hard to control. So let's see. I have a feeling the plasma cutter is going to win. So let's get it out next. All right, we've got the shears tight now. Let's put them up, because I think we are done with them. But it doesn't do bad if you're making some straight cuts, something like that. This isn't bad. I kind of like this. I can't believe I haven't tried this since. But I haven't done a lot of light sheet metal work for a long time. All right, hopefully you can hear me over the air compressor. I'm going to have to play with this a little bit and get it set. I had it going a little bit ago, and it was too low. Then I turned it up, way too hot. I turned it down. Now look at this. There's my plasma cutter. And like I said, when I was using plasma cutters a lot, like I said, they were the size of refrigerators. And we weren't really using them on anything small. We're using them on pretty heavy stuff. Let's try to get this adjusted. Nice work, Justin. Cut it. Fire it all! Now I gotta cut that little nibbling off there with making the nibbler. Alright, awesome. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's get a cord on here. That's not bad. It's not as clean of a cut. It's really quick, but it'll also kind of work the material a little bit. But for something small, I think a really good nibbler would work. But the problem is I think this material that we're using is right in that balance of what you should be using to cut it with. Let's cut these tabs off of here so they're not sticking out of the way. Alright. You guys don't need to see me clean these up. That's what I gotta do next. But here's the one that we cut. And see, it's not quite as clean. And if you look at it, it warped it a little bit, which is no big deal. We just gotta clean it up a little bit. This one we gotta trim on just a little bit, but not bad. The plasma cutter's alright for it, but I don't know. I think maybe I might need to invest in a little better nibbler. Okay. Let's get back to the truck after I clean these up. Okay, so let's get tacking on here. So my nobody's friends, if you can hear, I got Chad in the background. We're listening to nobodies as we're working tonight. So I got my goggles on here, and the reason why I do is because I need to kind of see what I'm doing. I'm trying to protect my eyes. I'll still shut my eyes and everything while I'm striking the arc, but I just don't want to get any kind of flash burn. And be honest with you, my eyes aren't really as good as it used to be. Seeing through the helmet, even with an automatic helmet, I mean, I can see it all right, but I can see better with these. All right, so let's start techie.
18 with Hippie.
Alright, now I'm going to try to do this so everybody can see kind of what's going on. Right in there. I can...
1 minute on, 30 seconds left to go. 18 with Hippie.
Yeah, that was too much, but that's enough to get me started.
20 with Steven.
Okay, here we go.
20 with Steven, we're taking away, we're coming out of the end.
Fire in the hole.
20 with Clem, I had 20 with Steve first. 30 seconds left. And that does it, Steven at 20.
Okay.
Let's get the cap, and then we're going to I'm actually got some plates that, well, some of the stuff is kind of related, so we're doing some plates back and back here a little bit. This cap is pretty cool. If you like patina stuff, this thing is really cool. This is a mid-50s GMC.
Ah.
Great look to it, blue and white. The center is banged up a little bit.
I'm right away, but I need to quit for a second. I got to see what he's got on here. He just mentioned GMC.
It is the opposite of it.
All right, I think you guys can see a little better. Now keep in mind, this is just kind of rough for now. When I get done with this piece and this little piece I got to make here, I'm going to take this dash out and I'll clean it all up, the whole thing, and we get it all welded all the way around, hammer on it. I'm just kind of getting it in place and with the pieces in it, so you guys get an idea kind of what's going on here. So I'm just going to get these kind of in place where they need to be, and then we'll go from there. See if I can get this. I may need to turn my machine up. Okay.
And here we go on this one. Well, if that was a curve bid mark, throw it up there again. That may have been hanging in. Okay, that's what I thought, Mark. That's kind of what I figured. Christine, we hit the 30-second mark.
Okay, much better. Let's get a better tack up here.
Okay, that's it. We'll see you later.
Okay. Now let's use our hammers here. Now, where did that one go? There.
15 apart.
All right, while we're at it, let's put a couple tacks up here.
17 with Dylan. 18 with Jesse. Few seconds left. 18 with Jesse. 19 with Dylan. And that does it. 19 with Dylan. 20. You all come in a little.
Okay. I know I'm in the way, but how's that? Okay, so I got that one tacked on there. I'm not going to tack it much more because, like I said, I got to pull this out to get the rest of this work done. And I've made this to where it's bolted right here. It's bolted across here. And it's bolted on that side the same as it is right here. So I can pull this dash in and out whenever I need to. And I'll put some nut zerts in here and put some different screws down in there. Right now I've just got them in there to keep this where it needs to be because I've got to make a contour for this right here. So I've got to get my template and I've got to see what I got to do to make this right here. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, there it is with the steering wheel on there. I hope that steering wheel is going to work out. And I'm going to have to change the shifter. As you can see, unless you can put your arm through the steering wheel to use the shifter or around the steering wheel, that's going to be a little different to use. But I can straighten up that bend in that shifter and that'll bring it over towards the passenger side of the vehicle, the truck. And that'll make it different. But this is looking good. I'm liking what this looks like. I like the fact that I was able to get this contour down like I want, and this is going to work good. I've got to finish this side. I'm going to do that off camera. And I appreciate everybody. If you can, let me get where you can see me. Okay, so if you can, please like, share, and subscribe. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it here in just a minute. So I don't even know who has won, but I'm going to do the creeper giveaway. And like I said, I'm doing it off the comments, and we're going to do it here shortly. So after I get done here, I'm going to film that, and we'll know exactly who's won the creeper. But congratulations to whoever you are. I'll know here in just a little bit. And you know, that's the good thing about editing. You can film as you're going and then edit as you need to. So I'm going to go grab my laptop, and then I'm going to bring up the winner of the creeper, and we'll get a hold of him and get it out to him. All right, so everybody, if you could, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Remember, flat tires and baling wires. Baling wire, I'm still old baling wire, but I did change the channel name to Flat Tires and Baling Wires. I hope that gets me out there a little better, and that's not so much like Cousin Waylon. And that should help, I hope. But this is what we done. I'm hoping it wasn't really boring for a lot of you. I enjoyed this. This was a good time, but I got a lot more work like this to come. I got to do the floors, got to do the firewall. I've got to get this front clip on there, and then we got the whole back half of this thing to do. But in the next video, I'm going to take this engine out, and we're going to work on the firewall. We're going to put floors in this thing. I was going to do some of the floors in this video, but I got to spend some time to find some more parts, because I've got some of the factory floor that bolts into this thing, and I want to try to utilize some of that. Okay, so like again, please, if you can, like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Okay, it's a couple of days after I even filmed the closing of the video. I got this all welded up, and sanded down, all the edges taken care of. I'm very happy how this turned out. Now I do need to take the glove box and cut it down to be able to fit in this hole right here. But I will do that later. And then right here is where the ashtray goes. And like I said, I may take the glove box and just go all the way over here and do away with the ashtrays. I'll never use it. I might just cut this bar out of here and put the glove box door all the way over here. And I'll have maybe two coveys. Open it up and have a covey here and a covey there. But there it is. I think this is looking good. I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. That is one shrunken down 55 Bel Air dash that's going in a 46 rat rod. I'm very, 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 very pleased with this. It turned out very good. And like I said, the inside of that rat rod, I'm actually going to paint it up nice. So I want this to look nice. So I do have to, like I said, the glove box door here, and this hole right here is for the heater controls. I got a set of those I'm going to put in, and then I'm also going to cut a hole in this because I am going to put a radio in it. And that's it. So I already did a closing, so I'm not going to close again, but there it is, folks. I'll put this probably right before the closing, then I'll do the closing. I'll put the closing in there. I haven't edited the video yet, but this is well, a day later, actually about a day and a half later. So there it is. Thanks, everybody. All right, so we did it. We just picked ourselves a winner for the creeper, and here it is right here. And what I used was what is it, findyourid.com, and went to the random comment picker, and it's Vinny Lavelle. So Vinny, in this if it's not in there already, Vinny, in this video, I'm going to put my email so we can get together on this, and we'll get that creeper to you. So once again, Vinny Lavelle 50 is the winner of our brand new creeper. All right, so I know that I got to put this in a video somewhere because I've already closed out this video. But please, if you can, please like, share, and subscribe. And Vinny Lavelle, we are going to get out the brand new creeper to you. All right, everybody. Thank you.